Yo, what's good? It's Black Pill Villain. And today I got a video request, but, I'd like to take a look at this. I know some people, they say they like looking at this in the beginning of the videos and stuff. And we already know what it is, man. I ain't got to go into explaining, but a lot of us, man, we'll be a lot more happier with cute girls in our lives, but we know how it is. In this position, the psychological ramifications of not having your needs met, it has a profound effect on your ability to do anything. People act like you not getting no part of a woman's private parts. They act like that doesn't have an effect on a man. And it has a major effect on a man. It's a reason a lot of us are stuck in the situation that we're in right now. Not having confidence or belief in yourself, and not having anybody to reinforce or reestablish confidence in yourself, and it gets taken away. And then you find yourself being isolated and not caring about the world. You start to, you don't brush your teeth every day. Now I brush my teeth every day, but there was a time when I was extremely depressed that I'll brush my teeth one day, and then maybe, Tuesday, just so depressed to say F it, 'cause I done smoked and laid in the bed most of the day depressed, and then I brush my teeth that Wednesday or that Tuesday night, like at 3 a.m., stuff like that, but I've always pretty much showered and stuff like that. You got to keep your hygiene up, but I'm just saying that the mental pain you go through, it makes you do things that you wouldn't normally do. You become an abnormal. You don't become a normal person anymore when you don't have a girl in your life. This is why it's important for young men to get women in their life, and young men to actually be able to be men. You know what I mean? Like, how can a lion be a lion without teeth? How can a bird, or how can an eagle be how can an eagle fly without wings? You know what I mean? And how can a snake, devour its prey without wrapping around it or ejecting venom, for certain species? It's like, it's natural for a man to want to, be loved. And then they wonder why, then people, try to check up on you years later. Hey man, how you doing? This, that, and this, and the third. And that takes me into today's video, So a lot of us, we've been in friend groups and friend circles. Some of us haven't, but a majority of us, I would think, has at least had one person in life that you would have called quote unquote your friend before they turned their back against you or betrayed you. And me personally, I come from big friend groups and stuff like that, and a lot of people got mad at me because I kind of just stopped kicking it with people because of their actions and because of the things they would say and because how they would try to make you feel. You see, certain people, they ask you, hey man, what are you doing this weekend? You want to come hang out and stuff? Knowing that you're a certain age, they know you don't have a car, they know you don't have a job, they know these things already. Either you done told them or you didn't really talk about it. And you be like, okay, man, let's go, but in the back of your mind, you already know it's gonna be some bullshit, So even if you say no, they're gonna be like, oh man, blah, 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 or they may just pop up at your house. I've had that before. People that I said no to, I don't want to kick it, just pop up, at my house trying to kick it, and it's like, bruh, I don't want to kick it today. But a lot of people just want to be nosy, and it goes for family too. These people kick it with you, and they start asking, hey man, what do you do for a living? Oh man, or how you doing? Blah blah blah. And it's just like, you don't really care what the fuck I'm doing for a living, and you don't really care because if you did, we'd be talking every day like friends, like normal people who have friends. We're talking every day, we're talking frequently for the most part. Even if it's not on the phone, it's through text or whatever, we're still communicating. So you asking me, what am I doing with my life is already disingenuous, because if you really care, you would already knew, because I already told you, would have been close. But a lot of people just want to ask, what you're doing in life so they can compare themselves to you. They like people have egos. And when you were once with somebody, they kind of felt like, when we were once belonged to a friend group, people feel like you kind of deserve to be a loser or whatever because you're ugly. You deserve it. And when they get higher than you in life, they become a lawyer or a doctor or something like that, and you still, 25-year-old virgin living with your mother, not no job, no school, no type of romantic prospects. They like to see you in that position because it makes themselves feel better, and that's horrible. And a lot of these times when these people ask you to hang out, tell them no. You tell people sternly, nah, man, I ain't nah. And then they're going to get mad and, oh, man, you done changed, you done switched up. Who cares? Because we're all growing at this age. And then you have distant family members asking about you, Has that ever happened to you guys? Where it's like, oh, your cousin want to talk to you, or your brother, blah, blah, blah. And they just want to see what you're up to, Just they just want to see what you're up to, so that way they'll have some ammunition to use against you. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. It's like like how somebody told my cousin about my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how they even figured out who the hell I even am and who my cousin is. I don't know who that was, but because the person never left a comment, never was just my cousin. He just told me one of his comments. So it's stuff like that, where people just want to check in on your YouTube channel, see what you're talking about, so they can have ammunition to use against you, or so they can just know things about you that they wouldn't otherwise know, so they can make themselves feel better. It's like an egotistical boost when friends who you haven't talked to in years, you haven't seen these people in years, you haven't talked to them, you even talked to them on Xbox, you don't know these people at this point. After 10 years or 5 years without talking to somebody, or even 3 years, hell, I'll say even 2, after a few years without talking to somebody, that person completely changed to when you last knew them, especially if they're a normie. You know how normies are. They believe in the system, and the system rewards its slaves and its pets, with a little piece of meat from the table. But us, we already know what it is, And this is why a lot of us self-isolate, because people don't want to really genuinely care about how you're feeling. They don't. They just want to see what you're doing in your life. Oh, he ain't doing nothing in life, so I got me a job here. I feel better. Even people in your family, like they'll have a job. It'll be a job that's just barely their head above the water. Your friends or your family, and they'll think they're better than you because they have a job. It's like, ninja, you're barely holding on. And then, like, it's not like you just balling out of control. Like, it's like people ask they still ask their mothers for help. They ask other people for help. They got to go get loans and stuff like that. And it's just not, you're not doing that much better than me because you have a job. Actually, a lot of times people have a job and their shit is even worse. But when you get these people from high school, from college, ex-coworkers, they try to find you on Facebook, especially if you were that quiet person that was kind of intriguing, because they always look at us quiet people as interesting. How come that person's not talking? Oh, he must think he's better than us because he's not talking. That's not all. That's not it at all. I don't think that I'm better than anybody because I don't, I keep to myself. That makes no sense. I keep to myself because people are ignorant and they're idiots and they're stupid. Most freaking people just don't understand how to be proper. They don't understand how to behave. They always want to have a phallus measuring contest. He's 21 years old and he ain't got a car. And then when you kick it with these people and hang out with them, you notice it's always about materialistic crap. You never talk about deep spiritual insights. You never talk about things that actually matter, things that can actually, help you achieve. And these people that ask you, oh man, what are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. They don't really want to help you, because if they knew that you're doing down bad, they would offer you things. They would try to help you get into a better position, but they're not. These people just want to come around you. Hey man, let's kick it. Let's hang out. Oh, you ain't got a car? Oh, that's right, man. You don't have a car. Like, that's how you know it's bad. Whenever somebody hits you up and they call you on the phone or email you, whatever, how they communicate with you, and like, oh yes, meet up here. And you're like, oh okay. You gonna pick me up? Pick you up? Oh, you ain't got a car? Nah. Oh damn, bro, I thought you had a car. Damn, bro, you ain't got a car yet, man. Blah blah blah. There's stuff like that. They're already passive aggressively dissing you. Or you ain't got a car yet, because not everybody's can afford a car, point blank. Not everybody had people that had parents that bought them a car at 16 or bought them a car for high school graduation or whatever. Not everybody had parents that had bread like that, bro. Cars are expensive, you know what I mean? And then they want to try to, oh, you got a girlfriend? That's the next question, Sometimes it's the first, They ask you, what do you do for a living, and do you have a girl? And then it's like, you know the answer to that. Look how I'm dressed. Look how, you know what I mean? But they're just trying to get it out you so they can feel better, Oh, you don't got a girlfriend, man? Oh, when's the last time you had a girlfriend? Damn, bro, when's the last time you had sex, man? And that's another comment. That's another thing, is when you're in a group of males, it becomes whoever has the most sex gets the most, becomes a de facto leader. He gets the most appreciation. Everybody respects the guy that gets pussy. And if you're one of the guys in the group that's not getting no women, then people are going to look down on you. They're going to think, oh man, we can't kick it with you. We can't hang with you. And they do allow you to hang with them. You're going to be the laughing stock. They're going to laugh at you. And then when you finally kick it again after all these years, and you say you don't got a girl still, it's going to reinforce their beliefs about you. And they're going to be like, oh man, shoot, I just got some coochie and some booty last night, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know about you, man. I don't know how you go years or months without having no girl. And they start laughing at you and teasing you, making you feel bad and worse. And then you remember, this is why I don't like kicking it with people. They're always trying to compare their lives to mine. And whenever they get a little bit of cookie and a little bit of nookie, then all of a sudden they want to be like, oh yeah, this guy ain't getting none of that. I'm better than this guy, And then what's messed up about it is once they learn everything about you, they go and they tell other people about you. They tell their sisters tell their friends and all that, and then they invite you to some type of kickback, and everybody's looking at you, smirking and laughing and talking about you. One thing I hate is when you hear people, you overhear people talking about you. That pisses me off. When you hear girls, or girls or somebody, oh, look at that black guy. Oh, isn't that loser that doesn't get any women? Shh, Becky, don't say it too loud. I don't care. He's a loser. And then even the guys not on your side, they laugh at you. Look at this guy. Why is he here? What are you doing here? You know, and people, I've seen this happen. I've had it happen to me. I'll admit it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I've had, we're going back down memory lane, man. I've had a very interesting life, you know, of people that, you know, fake frenemies, you know what I mean? Or people who I thought were my homies, but really they were plotting against me the whole time. They never wanted to see me win. And I was always those guys who want to be let into the inner circle of popularity. I always want to be around the cool kids. That's what I want. I always want to be the popular guy, you know? And when people liked me and accepted me because I rapped, it made me feel cool. But then at the end of the day, they only liked me because they thought I was going to make it. The second they realized I wasn't going to make it, everybody had pretty much abandoned me, you know, for the most part. And there was one time, man, where there was these people that I used to, you know, kick it with. And it's funny because we only kicked it whenever I had some kush. And whenever they had kush, all of a sudden they didn't want to kick it, you know. But when I had it, you know, all of a sudden they want me to come around and kick it and pay for it and all that. And at the time, I just wanted to be around the cool kids because the cool kids got bitches. They got women. And you would go to their little kickbacks and you come with the tree, you come with the good green, then you right there with the pretty women. Even though they're like, some of them are frowning at you, some of them are laughing at you, some of them are like, what is he wearing? What kind of shoes are those? You know, you ever had that happen to you? Oh, he smells weird. Look at his hairlines. He like a fake 50 Cent. All that, bruh. And you just got to just kind of ignore it. And at the time, I wasn't confident and bold enough to speak, you know, because you don't want to piss the popular kids off, because you don't want to be with the losers, quote unquote. But I was already a loser. So one time I go over to, you know, should I say his name? Fuck it. There was a guy named Nick. You know what I mean? You know, and no, not Nick Mara. No, not him. This is somebody totally different from my, you know, old football team. But a guy named Nick, pretty cool, pretty popular. And we used to be close, but then he kind of, you know, he had an older brother that was even more popular, and he kind of elevated in popularity and kind of like left me behind low key, you know. But at one time, you know, it was been time buying him kush, buying him weed, we were kicking it like, you know, friends. But at the same time, you know, when people realized I wasn't going to make it as a rapper, he kind of distanced himself. And I remember going to his house one day, you know, because sometimes, you know, because his house was like the kick it house. Everybody, you can just pop up there anytime for the most part. People would just pop up there. Like, people just come, hey, go to Nick's house. You got some weeds, go to Nick's house. Like he had an atmosphere like that. Like, his mom was pretty cool for the most part. She acted the ass sometimes, but she was cool for the most part, you know. And Nick's a Hispanic guy. He's Hispanic, and his mom was married to a black guy, a tall black guy, you know. And so I go over there or whatever, and there was this guy named Quinn. It's crazy if you listen to this, Quinn. You know what you did, man. But I go over there, and Quinn, he was kind of like a friend of me too, you know. And there was another black guy there named Jamel. And so I get there, and first thing Quinn says, hey, what are you doing here? You know? He's like, hey, man. And he pulled me to the side, you know, but it was inside Nick's room, you know, and his girlfriend was like, you know, she was like in the closet area, you know, like messing with the clothes or whatever. Jamel was sitting on the bed, and Nick was sitting on the chair, and he was on his computer or whatever. And Quinn pulled me to the side, because, you know, in Nick's house you can just walk like that. That's how it was. That was the environment. You just walk. He did the door, like most of the doors open. You just walked in and came in and said, "What's up?" Like, because you just walk in there, you got your kush. Everybody, oh man, you got what's up, homie? And everybody just starts smoking. That's how his house was. It was an opening environment. Like, everybody from the football team after practice would go. That was like the spot. You know, him and an Asian guy named Kevin's house. Those were the two spots that people went. But anyway, so I walked up in there like normal, because everybody walked in there. You know, I've done it countless times before, and it was cool, you know. But, you know, I walked in there this time, quick, like, hey, man, what are you doing here? You know, put me to the sides, like, hey, man, you keep messing up our plans, bro. We're not going to keep changing what we have to do for you. You keep coming over here and messing up all of our plans, and like, we have plans and stuff. You keep coming over here, and we got to change our plans and stuff. Hey, bro, you need to get out of here, bro. We can't be having you know, keep messing up our life. You come in this house and you disrespect it. That's what he told me to my face. Like, you keep disrespecting our house. And the funny thing about it is, Quinn didn't even live there. He got kicked out of his house, you know. But then he started to live with Nick, and Nick's mom allowed it, you know. And Quinn was, you know, a white Irish guy, but he was on a football team. And we were homies with Quinn. You know, he was like, well, I say homies, he's like a friend of me. You know what I mean? Like, I've been to his house. We done smoked. We done kicked it. Like, you know, but, you know, I remember he used to always make jokes. He's like, bro, I never seen you with no girls, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, I bet your dick is drier than the Arizona desert. I remember he said that. You know, everybody started laughing in the car. You know what I mean? Like, it's shit like that, you know. But when he pulled me to the side and told me, you're disrespecting us, and you're disrespecting this house, you know, and you're disrespecting her right there. You think she wants some random guys just coming in here, you know? And I'm like, random guys? You know, I didn't say nothing because I was flabbergasted. You know, he's like, man, you got to leave, man. And I was like, what? I got some kush, like, we don't care, you know? And, you know, he kind of raised his voice at me, I won't lie, you know? And I was like, hey, all right, cool, I'll leave. I was so hurt that day, and that was the last time I kicked it with them. I never kicked it with them again. And I remember later on that night, Nick had called me. So I'll give Nick his props on that one. He had called me and said, hey, man, what's up? What's up? He's like, hey, man, you ain't mad about what Quinn said, all that, man? You ain't heard about that? Yeah, that's what he said. You ain't heard about that? And I'm like, no, I'm good, man. And I played it. I was like, oh, okay. I can tell he knew I was lying on the phone. Like, he knew that I was hurt by that. You can tell by my voice. I know, man, I'm cool, man. I'm good, man. No one for the smoke. Like, oh, all right. You know? After that, he never hit me up again. He hit me up that one time. Later on, I give him props for hitting me up that one time. But after that, he stopped hitting me up. And I would text him. He wouldn't text back. You know? Even when I text, because usually I would text him like, I got 20 on it, you know? Or I got 10 on it, whatever. Oh, I bet. Come through, you know? But then I would text and say, I got 20 on it. Whoa, whoa. And then he didn't text back. And then it'd be times like, I got some kush right now. You know, I got an eighth, you know? I got a quarter. And I wouldn't get no text back. So I'm like, okay, so they stopped fucking with me. And then what I would do, because I was lonely, man. Like, I wanted to be around the pop. These guys had the beautifulest women in the high. They had, like, you know those popular kids that got girls in other high schools? They got popular girls in other high schools coming over their houses. So it's like everybody knew each other and everybody networked and shit. I was trying to network and get into my music. I want people to know that I'm a rapper in the area, you know? But they didn't want to, like, they kind of blocked me. And I remember one time I freestyled, you know, like in front of these girls, like we got through drinking and smoking, we were playing pool and beer pong, and I freestyled so hard, the girls were like, damn, he's good, you know what I mean? Like a pretty white girl, like, damn, he's good. Like, no, really, he's actually really good, wow, you know? And like, and the girls, you know, and that's the first time they seen me, like, damn, this guy is actually, you know? And the pretty girls smile at you, and it was like, it was a good feeling. I want that to continue. Then I remember, you know, Nick, you know, he did some kind of hater shit. He was like, because they put on another beat, because like the homie was playing beats from his computer in the garage, and I was just freestyling. And then Nick was like, all right, that's enough rapping, that's enough, all right, okay, you good, all right, that's enough showing off and all that, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, showing off, what do you know, so they stopped and then they started playing the beer pong stuff again. But the girls, you know, for the rest of the night, they see me in a different light, they kind of treated me a lot more nice. You know, there was this girl that was pouring out, you know, vodka shots, and I went over to get a vodka shot. She's like, you're really talented. She's like, one day, hey, one day, when you make it, don't forget me, you know what I mean? Shit, little stuff like that, and I felt good, man. But, I had other experiences too like that, but it's after that, bro, I never kicked it with them again. You know, and you know, it's funny, my mom ran into him. You know, my mom's kind of popular. Like, my mom got a lot of friends. She's always talking to people. She's very social. I'm totally opposite because, you know, I'm a black male in America. I can't be friendly like that. You know what I mean? Because people are always looking to attack you, you know, always. You know, they attack you. They hate you because you're black, and they're able to attack you because you're poor. That's a saying that the Black Authority, TBA, the Black Authority deemed. You know, they don't like you based on your skin color configuration, and they're able to attack you because of your economic situation. You know, if I was rich like Corey Kinson, yeah, you got to do it, you know, bull crap. But for the most part, you'll be able to protect yourself from a lot of stuff. You know, you have a lot of bread, you don't have to deal with bull crap, you know. But ever since then, I never kicked it with them. And my mom ran into him a couple of times. Oh, he's like, oh, yeah, what's his name doing? You know, how's he doing? Oh, yeah, he's doing fine, blah, blah, blah. You know? And then you go on Facebook and you go on through this and you hear people talking about, oh, yeah, man, I heard he still lives with his mom. Blah, blah. I'm like, these people are talking about me. You know, I don't even have my Facebook more. I deleted my Facebook years ago. You know what I mean? You know? And these people are still, I still, you know, because you're able to go on some people's sites, you know, it's like 2013, 14, Facebook. I remember going, people were still talking about me and shit. Like, oh, man, where'd you go? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, he just left us and blah, blah, blah. What do you mean left y'all? Y'all talking all this crap about me even now. He's a failed rapper. He will never make it. So a lot of these people didn't want to kick it with you, man. They just want to see how you're doing in life, so that way they can compare themselves and make themselves feel better when they ain't shit themselves. Notice who's talking shit about you. They ain't nothing special themselves. What are you? You're not Kendrick Lamar. You're not a famous rapper. You're not some millionaire actor. You're not a football player. You're nobody great. You're not some powerful president. You're not Vladimir Putin. You're a regular ninja like me. So how in the hell, you know, you're going to think that you're better than me because you have a job? Because you're able to take orders like a little female dog? And I'm the one that's like, no, I'm gonna stand in my convictions. I'm gonna stand in who I am as a person. I'm not gonna lose my soul, and I'm gonna keep on working on my dream until my dream comes into fruition, until I accomplish what I want to accomplish. And I'm the one that's a bad guy, an evil guy. What the fuck? So yeah, man. So the message, man, is never hang out with people who you haven't seen for a few years if they didn't like you in the first place. There's a reason why you guys stopped talking in the first place. People just want to have a phallus measuring contest. They want to see what you don't got in life and what they have over you so they can talk about you and laugh at you and make themselves feel better. The human race is pathetic.